హాయ్ వ్యూయర్స్, ఐఎమ్ యువర్ డాక్టర్ కోలా. ఈరోజు మనము డిప్లొమా ఇన్ ఎలిమెంటరీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ బిఎడ్ సంబంధించి తీసుకున్నట్టయితే సిసిఈ కంటిన్యూస్ కాంప్రహెన్సివ్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ లేదా మనం తెలుగులో నిరంతర సమగ్ర మూల్యాంకనం అంటాం. యూజువల్గా మనం తీసుకున్నట్టయితే ఈ నిరంతర సమగ్ర మూల్యాంకనము యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ సిసిఈ ఎవ్రీ స్కూల్లో మనము ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాం. And when it comes to B.Ed and D.El.Ed students, after their teaching practice of 20 days, they will be uh, using the tool of CC for examining or evaluating the students. So the big problem is that evaluation is a easy thing, but how to write that in the form of a record. Okay, so we'll see detailedly how we write CC record. Okay, we'll come to the format first. So CCE Record Format, in chapter 1, we'll have 5 chapters. First chapter, in that we'll have introduction to evaluation. So what is evaluation and why we do evaluation, right? Why is evaluation necessary? Okay, for any student or any academic activity, after our teaching learning practice, we go for testing the students whether the teaching learning process carried out by the teacher uh, is leading to learning outcomes, because every teaching learning uh, activities will lead to learning outcomes or academic standards. So introduction to evaluation, then difference of between measurement and evaluation. You see, measurement is different, evaluation is different. So we'll write detailedly what is measurement and what is evaluation. And then we come to concept of evaluation. What is evaluation? The concept of evaluation. Okay, you can find this detailedly in your textbooks of diploma in elementary education, as well as when we go for B.Ed books also. Then what are the different types of evaluation? Okay, it may be diagnostic tests. Okay, it may be remedial tests, or it may be CCE, or it may be formative or summative, like that one. Then steps in evaluation. How we carry out steps in evaluation? For example, preparation of the question paper. Okay, what you require? For example, if you are going to prepare a question paper, you have to follow the blueprint. Okay, for example, you can't prepare a question paper which is very difficult, or you can't prepare a question paper which is very easy. So you have to prepare a question paper which is based upon blueprint. Okay, so that when you analyze statistically, it should give a bell curve. Okay, so we go for types of evaluation, steps in evaluation. I mean, then tools of evaluation. Okay, then we come to tools of evaluation. What will go? For example, it may be oral tests. Okay, it may be long questions, it may be short questions, it may be written tests. Okay, or it may be descriptions. Basing upon that, then what are the characteristics of a good test? Good test will have validity, reliability, uh, without objectivity, right? So we have to see. Then when you go through that characteristics, okay, whatever the test, what we are implementing in the classroom should have validity and reliability, right? Then come into concept of CCE. This is very important, on which we are writing. For example, when you come to CCE, we have two types of tests: formative and summative. Okay, which we do formative is immediately uh, after completion of the what we say unit, and when you come to summative is the lastly entirely when you go for the entire session or entire academic year. So CC is nothing but when you come to CC, we see that there is a drastic change in the evaluation techniques. So CC is the pattern where a child gets a chance for expressing himself. So whenever you are designing the question paper, try to prepare a question paper where a child expresses himself. That is when we see that open-ended questions should be there. For example, when we come to a question like who is your favorite leader? Okay, definitely it should not be the same what we have been listening. Okay, it should be different from. For example, he may have his local hero. He may have his uh, picture hero, like that. So The CCE concept itself will be very useful for the children at the school level. So difference between formative and summative. Okay, you draw columns for formative and then summative, and basing upon that, when it is applicable, and when you are implementing this one, when you are using in the classroom, and what is the differences between how formative is useful, how formative is summative is useful, what are the merits and demerits. So try to list out difference between formative and summative. So in the first chapter itself, we are almost writing nine uh, nine different. I mean, what to say? Regarding the evaluation, test, measurement, and you see, so when we write a record, it should be a clear-cut uh, idea to a teacher when he goes for correction. So that's why we see we start from evaluation, then test, measurement, evaluation, and all. Second chapter. In second chapter, you write the characters and the advantage of unit test. Why? What is the reason? And what are the advantages of carrying out unit test? Then how you plan for CCE test? Okay, how you prepared question paper and all this thing. Uh, uh, it should be written in a detail. And then coming to this part, it is very important. Weightage table. Okay, okay, it should be in the form of the columns. So, for example, for knowledge, question, for example, knowledge, how much you are given weightage. For understanding, how much weightage you have given. For application, how much you have given weightage. Or skill question, how much weightage you have given. So, weightage table should be prepared, and particularly regarding academic standards. What are the academic standards we are trying to get after the test, or implementing the test to the students? Then how much weightage you have given to the content, right? Now, whatever the content you have given, taken that, and weightage given to form of questions, whether short answer questions, very short answer questions, or it is a oral question or a written question, right? And then coming to weightage to difficulty level. I previously told that difficulty level should be based upon average students. Okay, the students who are below average as well as the students above average should be able to scatter should be in a position to answer the questions. Okay, so difficulty level. You see how much difficulty level we are supposed to do. Then particularly blueprint. Okay, whatever you have planned, where it is to the questions. Okay, knowledge, understanding, application, skill. Okay, that should be in the form of blueprint, as well as this. When writing the blueprint, it will be based on not only that, what we say, for what we say, skills which are your testing, rather as well as the content and whatever the questions. Entire thing should be in the form of a blueprint. And besides that, in the record, you attached a question paper, right? Which question paper you have carried out in the classroom for testing the students, that, and after that, question paper scoring key, how you are going to give scores for that, and after that, you place students mark list, each student, okay, number wise. Then what is the raw score of students? So in the second chapter, you will be adding all these things. Chapter, it should include student-wise as well as question-wise analysis. This includes big tables. Okay, first it should be analysis based on academic standards. Okay, student-wise, question-wise, what are the achievements uh, uh, as of the student on based as well as question-wise. Okay, then coming to second is that analysis based upon content, student-wise and question-wise. Okay, and then coming to third point is that student-wise as well as question-wise analysis on questions. Okay, so this all three includes a big table. Okay, because you see, number of students, basing upon that you will have big table. So please keep in mind while doing analysis, prepare a big table, student-wise analysis as well as question-wise analysis based upon academic standards. Okay, academic standards will be varying from whatever the teaching learning process you carried out in the classroom, or based upon the content what you have carried out in the classroom, and you see, based upon the topic you have taken up, or based upon the content which you have taken up in the teaching learning process. Sometimes the academic standards will be varying from chapter to chapter. So this third chapter includes particularly this analysis. So three big tables should be included in the third chapter. In chapter 4, we will come to statistical part, because it's very important that whatever the test you have implemented to the students, what are the question papers you are carried out with the students, and when you get when you do the correction and get the marks based upon your questions, okay, blueprint and all these things, it requires to analyze, and that it is carried out by statistical techniques. So the chapter 4 includes how you what is statistics, okay, introduction to statistics, and what are the advantages of statistics. Okay, why we are going for that? Because it gives a scientific analysis of the test you implemented in the classroom. Otherwise, it's not that just writing the question paper I need to do it, because we are carrying out a question paper based upon what do you say, a blueprint, a difficulty level, content, academic standards. So it requires scientific analysis. So it will be introduction to statistics, then advantage of statistics. Okay, it will be there in the text which you can write. Then how is the you have to go for third frequency distribution table. Then fourth, central tendency, and particularly it is very important that statistical analysis involves based upon the score of the children. You go for calculating the mean, median, and mode. Okay, so you will be calculating the mean, median, mode, and coming to the next measurement of variables, the calculation of range, quartile deviation, and mean deviation. Right. So these two, mean, median, mode calculation, as well as calculation of range, quartile division, and mean division, will you give a clear picture of your analysis, which can be seen in the graphical representation. Which can be seen in the graphical representation. If the test implemented in the classroom by you is purely based upon academic blueprint, uh, and the difficulty level is correct, definitely whatever the statistical calculations of mean, median, mode, as well as range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, when it will come to graphical representation, okay, what do I see on the graph, then definitely you will get a bell curve. Okay, so after implementation of your test in the classroom, uh, analyzing will be carried out by statistical techniques, and that will be correct only when you get a bell curve. Without, you see, it is not that we are going to adjust the bell curve, it will be naturally x, right? This will be x-axis, this will be x-axis, and this will be y-axis. When it comes, it should be like this, okay, in the form of like this, okay. So when you go for the graph, you should get a bell curve, right? If you get this type of graph, it indicates that the text what you have carried out in the classroom is perfectly based on blueprint, based upon what we say academic standards, as well as what we say is that whatever the questions you have designed and whatever the difficulty you have taken is right. So after graphical, in the graphical representation, you should get the bell curve. Then only whatever the test you see or you are carried out will be correct. Fine. Lastly, interpretation of scores. Okay, basing upon the score, whether the children were able to answer your question paper, whether the teaching learning process carried out by you in the classroom have been effective or not. will be writing based upon the interpretation of scores. In conclusion, okay, uh, what experience did you get after carrying out teaching learning process in the classroom, as well as implementing CCE, and how CCE is effective, whether it's catering to the needs of the children or whether it is giving a chance for the children to express themselves. Okay, usually examinations create fear in the students. So when you come to CC, it's purely based upon what is say student friendly, so that student cannot should not feel that there should be exam, there is an exam and he has to answer that one. So what we feel, in the conclusion, you can write your reflections of what you have observed after implementing CC test. Then attach the answer sheets of the students also, right? So in 5 chapters we are going to write CC record. Okay, I have tried to give a clear idea how to write the record. Okay, writing record is carrying out the test in the classroom is one a big process or a big hurdle for a teacher training, and putting that in the form of record is a hurdle. Okay, that's why I try to give a clear idea to you how to put whatever you have carried out in the classroom in the form of 5 chapters. Hope that this will be useful for the diploma in elementary education students as well as B.Ed students. Thank you. Signing off here, Dr. Kola.